All right, so
You're up.
yeah, cool. I was lazy enough to have my presentation in Russian, so that may be great for some of you here.
Turn it away, first of all.
Cool. If I turn away, I cannot see it. I can't remember what I'm talking about. Just a few words about myself, because there are lots of people here I don't know, so I assume that not everybody knows me. Plus, I'm not wearing my yellow T-shirt, so that's even harder to identify 1C staff. I work for 1C, and I'm in charge of our game businesses. And as I will be talking about kind of selling titles to publishers, I'm personally in charge of international sales, so I guess I know what I'm talking about. I will talk about history. So if we look, I started in the company in 1998, beginning of 1999, so I don't know how it was done before, but I remember how it was done during my time. So I identify two types of international sales. One I call a booker style of sales, when you are hunting for dozens of international, small kind of international or local publishers. So you go to Germany, you find a local publisher and try to sign the title. There are lots of pros for this approach, because you can get lots of small advances that altogether form a substantial amount. Then you minimize your risks, because you're not putting all the eggs in one basket. So if one territory doesn't pay you, or a publisher goes bankrupt, you're still okay in other territories. And you have much higher chances to sell multiple titles to one partner. So if you have like 10 games, imagine signing 10 games with Ubisoft, one contract. Not going to happen. On the other hand, there are lots of cons, as in order to deal with hundreds or dozens or even 5 international partners, you need a staff of a few people, there are lots of contracts, there are lots of royalty reports, etc., etc. So that's not easy. There are lots of issues with control, because you have to, instead of chasing one partner, you have to chase lots of partners for different issues. And then, so we're coming to, let's say, old 1C method, when we've been concentrating on finding big international publishers and signing one title deal with one publisher. I think we have signed titles with pretty much every single company on the market, except maybe EA and Vivendi, but we have deals with pretty much everybody else. The main plus here is that it's a one-shot deal. You get like millions of dollars of advance payments, and that's it. So you stop worrying about anything else. But then on the other hand, having one partner, it's a problem. They can screw you, they can change your game completely. Very often international publishers assign their own producer that has his own, her own vision of your own project, and sometimes, what you release together with the international publisher is a completely different game. But then you learn a lot as well. What happened later? Sometime around 2004, 2005, major publishers dramatically reduced the number of titles they were signing from external companies. They started to concentrate on buying studios and developing all the best stuff internally, which I fully support as a publisher as well. So we had to develop a book style of sales. And in our own experience, we got lucky because we bought a small kind of boutique publisher in Central Europe, and we used that, and I'll explain how we used that later. So having like European presence, it was much easier to work with small local publishers. Having an office in Prague, it's very easy to work with somebody located in Germany, Italy, Spain, etc. Travel distance is smaller, time difference is non-existent. And what's more important, we managed to reduce our licensing risks. When you, for small advance like $10,000, you give away your Goldmaster to some, Dutch company you never saw before, and you hope that they will pay you royalties later. I can name so many Dutch companies. With lots of F words. As opposed to the model when you are selling to local publishers, local distributors, finished goods. So you do not risk your source code, you don't risk your GM. If somebody stops paying you, you stop selling their boxes. That's it. So that was great in this model, and so we kind of evolving. So we started opening offices in other places. It was not just Czech Republic, so opened an office in London, we opened an office in Beijing, and the sales were done by territory basis. So basically, the manager sitting in Beijing was covering all Asian contracts, the guy sitting in London were doing UK and Nordics, etc., etc. So we got more salespeople working in their specific regions, and the results were much better because of that. But then we had 2008. When PC market, offline PC market almost disappeared. I mean, international market, yes, the Russian market was still okay, we were still making millions and millions of dollars in local sales. But funny enough, I think it was the first time in 2008 when I went to GameStop in San Francisco with a huge store, like 3 floors, 1,000 square meters, and I couldn't find any single PC product there. And that's like the most professional game store in the city, probably. So as consumers weren't able to buy games in retail, basically all distributors and kind of average size publishers were not interested in signing any PC titles at all because they also had no means of selling those games. Same story happened in Nordics. In Nordics, it's virtually impossible to buy a boxed PC product. It's better in some places. For example, in Finland, you still can buy games, and in Sweden, it's virtually impossible. Germany is still okay. Same, let's say, shit happened in Asia. Those guys were playing only online games. Nobody cared about boxed PC products anymore. And we had a big issue with international sales. We could still develop good games. We could sell them in Russia for big bucks, but the advances we were getting from international publishers, big publishers, small publishers, were reducing dramatically. So what we did, we had to increase our marketing activities because we understood that we have to market our products towards consumers and stop marketing the products towards our potential business partners. Because in the past, before 2008, our marketing was very easy. You make a nice PowerPoint presentation, a couple of videos, screenshots, and you go chase 100 different companies, show them the title, and hope for a deal. Now, partners, well, at that point, partners became less and less important, so we had to do the marketing for the consumers. And we had to localize and test our titles ourselves as we had less and less publishing deals. In the best case, we were able to find distribution deals. But distributors are not publishers, they can sell boxes, but they don't know how to localize the game from English into French, and they have no idea how to test it, so this had to be done internally, and that's why we had to open our internal studios for localization and testing. But then, thanks God, digital distribution appeared. 5 years ago, it was Steam chasing us to sign titles there, but we were not that interested because we didn't see a lot of business there. Now it's the other way around, so we're chasing guys like Steam, trying to put titles there. Because they will, in terms of PC distribution, in console distribution.